All right, so imagine this. You put in hours of effort. You prep for the interview, you ace the talent screening, you complete a 2-hour test task, and you go into a second round interview with the hiring manager, which also includes a role play exercise. You're feeling good, right? You're thinking this might actually be happening. And then boom, plot twist, something completely unexpected throws everything off its tracks. I just went through this entire process only to find that this remote role actually requires for me to come into the office at least once per week. And guess what? I don't even live in the same city as the office. So let's rewind a bit. First interview, great conversation with the talent person, no mention about in-office requirement. And then comes the test task, 2 hours of me showing all of my skills. Cool, no problem, that is just part of the game. Second round interview, this is now with the manager. Oh, and they throw in a role play exercise, which by the way, I nailed. At this point, I'm thinking, okay, this is looking pretty promising. Then I get hit by a good old curveball. At the end of the interview, he mentions there is a requirement for you to come in at least once per week into the office. Hold up, what? This was never mentioned before. And I don't even live anywhere near the office. In fact, when they initially thought I was from the UK with my accent and working from there, they were actually super cool with me actually working fully remote. But now they realize that I'm in Canada and I've actually recently got my PR. All of a sudden, no fully remote for you. Suddenly I need to be in the office. How does that make sense? So of course I sent an email back. I thanked them for their time, reiterated my interest in the role, and politely pointed out that this in-office requirement was never mentioned in the job description and it was never mentioned in the first round interview. I also reminded them that I don't have a place in the city and commuting weekly just isn't an option. But I said I was still open, and if they had flexibility in the role, I'd love to pursue it. And to their credit, they did acknowledge the miscommunication and even apologized. But their stance was clear. This was a deal breaker. They believed that in sales, having in-person presence to be with your team, even if it be once per week, is mandatory. And that is their prerogative. I semi-agree with that. You know, I have worked in offices before, and I do agree that the camaraderie in sales team is super useful, also bouncing ideas in the same room. But they should have just mentioned this from day one. Just be upfront and you're not wasting anyone's time. So what's the lesson here? Transparency is everything. If you're hiring, be upfront with your requirements. Don't wait until the final stages to drop deal-breaking conditions. And if you're job hunting, always ask the right questions at the very start. Remote doesn't always mean remote, and some companies have a different definition than perhaps you do. And at the end of the day, it's all good. I believe I dodged a bullet, because if they can't be transparent in their initial hiring process, that's a bit of a red flag of what they could be like possibly to work with. And hey, I will keep on looking for that right fit, but I just had to share this story with you because I know that I can't be the only one that's been through something like this. So what do you guys think? Have you ever been through this kind of bait and switch job interview process? Drop your stories in the comments below. I'd love to hear them. And if you found this video useful and all of my other ones, be sure to subscribe to my channel, drop on that bell so you're notified for my next video. And that's it. Onward and upward, my friends. See you on the next one.